Christmas 2006. I mean, I was barely alive, but for some of you watching, this could have been the time where you and your family were all sat in the living room, grinding out boxing on Wii Sports. Good time. Good game. But then in the year 2022, Nintendo decided to shove Nintendo Switch Sports down our throats, to which everyone sat and wondered, where did it go wrong? Where, between 2006 and 2022, did this series lose it all? Well, that's what I'm here to answer today, so please subscribe, because I want to hit 300 subs, as we dive in to Wii Sports. So Wii Sports was revealed at the 2006 E3, which is pretty much dead now, but I'm pretty sure back in 2006 it was probably a big deal. And it wasn't just revealed, no, but it also won several awards, being the Games Critic Award, 1UP.com, which when you go to now, you can't, named Wii Sports the most original game, which I'm pretty sure is referring to the motion controls, because anything other than the motion controls, like boxing, I'm pretty sure that's been around since like the 1600s or something. And it also won the best sports game, which, you know, I'm sure was overflowing with great contenders. But it came out on top, and everybody loved it. Every family around the world rejoiced, with IGN calling it both innovative, revolutionary, but then also going on to give it a 7.5 out of 10, because somehow it lacked depth. Like, IGN wanted lore with this thing. They wanted an entire book about how each crevice in Woohoo Island somehow makes up the history of virtual baseball. Anyway, the game was packed in along with the... Anyway, the game was packed in along with the Wii, meaning pretty much everyone who has a Wii also has Wii Sports. Which is fantastic, because once you've got Wii Sports and Wii Party, you're pretty much sorted. Because here's the thing, there is no bad sport in this game. Bowling is simple, fun, and actually mimics real bowling really well. Tennis is just fantastic, easily the best sport in the game by far. Golf is also fun, albeit probably the weakest in the game, mainly because, you know, real life golf is just boring. It's also super cool seeing all your Miis in one baseball game, and boxing, other than the cool slow motion thing whenever you punch your opponent, gives you a real workout. So what was it? Why did everybody love this game? What made people continue to pick this game up even after a decade? Well, it was the motion controls. The thing everyone was calling revolutionary really was revolutionary. People today still get a kick out of booting up Wii Sports and then just throwing around the remote for an hour or so. Motion controls are just so simple. All you gotta say to explain the controls to someone is just swing it. Just swing it. That's all you gotta do. Don't know how to play tennis? Swing the remote. Don't know how to play boxing? Swing the remote. The controls are that simple, and that's what made the game so special. People of all ages and skill sets had pretty much an equal chance of beating each other. You could be grinding out Wii Tennis for 10 years straight, only for your grandma to absolutely demolish you the next time you play with her, because that's just the nature of Wii Sports. Also, we can't forget about the Miis, where you just make yourself, your friends, your relatives, and then you just make them go head to head in the ring. It was great. But then, the sequel came out. Wii Sports Resort released a whole 3 years after the original, and even IGN think it's a lot better than the first Wii Sports. They gave it a whopping 8.9 out of 10, and it even won the Best Family and Social Game Award. Again, that category must have contained only the finest of games, but it won, and rightfully so. This game is a definite improvement over the first game. It has slightly better graphics, just as simplistic controls, and it also managed to make Woohoo Island more of a cohesive setting. But obviously the best and biggest improvement was easily the fact that the game had 12 sports over the original's 5. These sports were swordplay, which was short and sweet, wakeboarding, which is fluid as heck, oh my word. There's both frisbee and archery, which are both kinda meh. There's easily the best sport in the game, basketball, for reasons I can't really explain, but we all know it's the best one. There's table tennis, which is just tennis but small. There's the returning sports, golf and bowling, still pretty solid. There's power cruising, which again controls really smoothly. There's canoeing, another meh sport. There's cycling, which is surprisingly good, mainly because it reminds me of Mario Kart, which, you know, I also like. And then last but not least, there's Air Sports, which I've honestly never played, so I'm just gonna say it's decent and then move on. So with all that being said, Wii Sports Resort, although being an improvement over the original, also required the player to use something called the Wii Motion Plus. Basically this small little plastic cube that you just stick on the end of your Wii remote, and it somehow magically enhances the motion controls tenfold. Now, the weird thing about this is, this game actually required you use the Wii Motion Plus, and there are no sports in this game which should at all warrant this requirement. The closest you're going to get to motion controls in this game is archery, which isn't even that fun to begin with. I mean, I would understand the Wii Motion Plus being a suggestion, but a requirement? That's crazy. Also, quick side note, the amount of times I've lost my Wii Motion Plus is, well, I could have bought so many more copies of this game if I hadn't have lost it. So obviously people talked about this game a lot less. I mean, it was an unnecessary sequel, they really did nothing new with the motion controls, the sports were really inconsistent in quality, and it was now a requirement to have this lame white square awkwardly stuck to the end of your remote. So yeah, this game to a lot of people, not that cool. And that's where the story should end. 2013 reared its head and Nintendo decided to drop Wii Sports Club on the Wii U. Wii Sports Club was basically just Wii Sports, but online. So now instead of bowling by yourself in your sad dingy room, you can now take that game of bowling across the world and try your best against people who probably grind out 300-point games all day. Sounds fun, right? Well, I never actually had the chance to play this game because I didn't own a Wii U until very recently. And also, look at these look at these prices. But it did look like a terrible idea. I mean, of course the people you face online are going to be absolutely decked out on this game. It's like taking the original Wii Sports but cranking all your opponents to 11. And not only was Wii Motion Plus also required for this game, but it was also a subscription service. Yep. Nintendo decided to treat this half Wii Sports title like Netflix, only allowing players to play the game for a certain amount of time, before expecting them to cough up even more cash to have themselves rolled and smoked in bowling again. And I don't know about you, but this completely sounds like flop material. And I was right, this thing absolutely tanked. I mean, realistically, who's gonna pay a whole $2 a day just to play bowling with slightly improved graphics? I mean, everyone owns a Wii, so like, who's doing this? Okay, so apparently this game was also made for people who wanted to have a party or get together, but they didn't want to buy the whole game, so they could rent it out just for a day for $2. But first of all, people who own Wii U's don't have parties or get-togethers, and two, even if they did, I can't see them wanting to rent Wii Sports for a day. It genuinely baffles me. And after that very quickly struggled and eventually died, Nintendo entered radio silence. They didn't even mention the word Mii for years. Everyone thought they were dead, no hope of returning whatsoever. Until
Nintendo Switch Sports.
Every Wii Sports fan around the world rejoiced once again. A new entry in this Wii Sports series. Not on the Wii though, so does that make it a different series? I don't know. So yeah, every Wii Sports fan around the world did a backflip and then exploded. They were that happy. That wasn't until the new Sports Pals were revealed literally a millisecond after the game. Everyone began questioning, where did the Miis go? Why did they go? It didn't make any sense. I mean, Nintendo had already released a Mii-make. A remake of Miitopia only a couple years prior. So, where have they gone? Don't worry, they're still there. They've just been shoved to the back burner in place for these soulless creatures with no aspirations or goals. So Miis were still in the game. They just didn't have the same customizability options as the Sports Pals. So instead of searching up how to make a burger Mii, you can now just be a living, breathing burger. Ew. But people were still okay with the game. I mean, as long as it had Miis, they were still going to buy it. And then the game released, and much like other Nintendo games at the time, it severely lacked content. It had bowling, swordplay, volleyball, badminton, tennis, and football, half of which were returning sports from previous titles. But what about the new ones? Badminton is as boring as it looks, volleyball is decent, I guess, and football is quite possibly my favourite sport in the entire series. I just like when you score a goal, it's satisfying. What more do you want? One other tidbit about football in this game is that the game came with a leg strap you could use to physically kick the ball. Granted, as long as you have a large enough space to do that. But the funny thing is, this thing wasn't even compatible with the game on launch. So you basically just got this worthless accessory with the game, and then when you could use it, it wasn't even that responsive or fun to use. So of course this thing garnered everyone's hatred, and it just leaves you thinking, will this series ever be good again? You know, considering Nintendo's ongoing meism, and the fact that they're just allergic to making good or finished games right now. So yeah, thanks for watching, subbing, unsubbing, liking, disliking, I don't care. Anyway, I'm off to score more absolute bangers in Nintendo Switch Sports Football. You know, the pinnacle of football on the Nintendo Switch.